Someone was shaking me. My eyes opened and it was daylight. "Well," Annabeth said, "the zombie lives." I was trembling from the dream. I could still feel the grip of the chasm monster around my chest. How long was I asleep? "Long enough for me to cook breakfast." Annabeth tossed me a bag of nacho-flavored corn chips. "And Grover went exploring. Look, he found a friend." My eyes had trouble focusing. Grover was sitting cross-legged on a blanket with something fuzzy in his lap. A dirty, unnaturally pink stuffed animal. No, it wasn't a stuffed animal. It was a pink poodle. The poodle yapped at me suspiciously. Grover said, "No, he's not." I blinked. "Are you talking to that thing?" The poodle growled. "This thing," Grover warned, "is our ticket west. Be nice to him." "You can talk to animals?" Grover ignored his question. "Percy, meet Gladiola. Gladiola, Percy." I stared at Annabeth, figuring she'd crack up at this practical joke they were playing on me, but she looked deadly serious. "I'm not saying hello to a pink poodle," I said. "Forget it." "Percy," Annabeth said, I said hello to the poodle. You say hello to the poodle." Poodle growled. I said hello to the poodle. Grover explained that he'd come across Gladiola in the woods and they'd struck up a conversation. The poodle had run away from a rich local family who posted a $200 reward for his return. Gladiola really didn't want to go back to his family, but he was willing to if it meant helping Grover. "How does Gladiola know about the reward?" I said. "He reads signs," Grover said. "Duh." "Of course," I said. Silly me. "So we return Gladiola in, we get the money, and we buy tickets to Los Angeles. Simple," Annabeth said. I thought about my dream, the whispering voices of the dead, the thing in the chasm, and my mother's face shimmered as it dissolved into gold. All that might be waiting for me in the West. "Not another bus," I said wearily. "No," Annabeth agreed. She pointed downhill towards the train tracks that I hadn't been able to see last night in the dark. "There's an Amtrak station half a mile that way. According to Gladiola, the westbound train leaves at noon." Chapter 13. I plunged to my death. We spent 2 days on the Amtrak train, heading west through the hills, over rivers, past amber waves of grain. We weren't attacked once, but I didn't relax. I felt we were traveling around in a display case, being watched from above by maybe everything, and from below. That was something waiting for me, waiting for the right opportunity. I tried to keep a low profile because my name and picture were splattered all over the front pages of several East Coast newspapers. The Trenton Register News showed a photo taken by a tourist as I got off the Greyhound bus. I had a wild look in my eyes. My sword was a metallic blur in my hands. It might have been a baseball bat or a lacrosse stick. The picture's caption read, 12-year-old Percy Jackson, wanted for questioning in the Long Island disappearance of his mother 2 weeks ago, is shown here fleeing from a bus where he accosted several elderly female passengers. The bus exploded on the East New Jersey roadside shortly after Jackson fled the scene. Based on eyewitness accounts, police believe the boy may have been traveling with 2 teenage accomplices. His stepfather, Gabe Ugliano, has offered a cash reward for information leading to his capture. "Don't worry," Annabeth told me. "Mortal police could never find us." But she didn't sound so sure. The rest of the day I spent alternately pacing the length of the train because I had a really hard time sitting still or looking out the windows. Once I spotted a family of centaurs galloping across a wheat field, bows at the ready, as they hunted their lunch. The little boy centaur, who was about the size of a second grader on a pony, caught my eye and waved. I looked around at the passenger car, but no one seemed to notice. The adult riders all had their faces buried in their laptop computers or magazines. Another time, towards evening, I saw something huge moving through the woods. I could have sworn it was a lion, except lions don't live in the wilds of America, and this thing was the size of a Hummer. Its fur glinted gold in the evening light. Then it leapt through the trees and was gone. Our reward money for returning Gladiola the poodle had been enough to purchase tickets as far as Denver. We couldn't get berths in the sleeper car, so we dozed in our seats. My neck got stiff. I tried not to drool in my sleep since Annabeth was sitting right next to me. Grover kept snoring and bleeding and waking me up. Once, he shuffled around and his fake foot fell off. Annabeth and I had to stick it back on before any of the other passengers noticed. "So," Annabeth asked me, once we got Grover's sneakers readjusted, "who wants your help?" "What do you mean?" "When you were asleep just now, you mumbled, 'I won't help you.'" Who were you dreaming about?" I was reluctant to say anything. It was the second time I dreamed about the evil voice from the pit, but it bothered me so much that I finally told her.